Okay, this is the second video segment for homework 10. Let me start with problem 23, and it goes like this. Sine of theta equal to 0.7. Now, first of all, I don't recognize this. It's not, 1/2, when it's not a 1, when it's not a 0, root 3 over 2, etc. Therefore, I have to use my calculator. In fact, it says uh, right, use a calculator. Now, when you use your calculator, the angle that the calculator spits out for sine inverse. In other words, I'm saying that basically theta equal to sine inverse of 0.7. Okay. Now, first of all, it looks like it wants an angle in degrees, which is fine. But the point is that when you use the calculator to get an answer here, the angle that spits out is between minus 90 degrees and 90 degrees. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it says if there are other angles between 0 and 180 which satisfies that, then get a 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this thing in our calculator. And let me see now. There's my calculator. I already changed it to degrees. Good. Sine inverse or second function, sine inverse of zero point 0.7. Hit return. Okay, 44.4. Okay, let's round it to first digit. 44.4. Okay, so here's the answer, but be careful. You gotta watch out here. The calculator will give you 44.4 degrees. All right. Now, what does that mean? Okay. So here's a trick circle. So at 44 degrees, at 44.4 degrees, this angle, 44.4 degrees, we know that the sine is 0.7. In other words, this height is 0.7. Okay, that's true. However, there is also the angle on this side, which is that angle, also between 0 and 180, which has the same SIN. So there are two answers to this problem. Theta equal to 44.4 degrees, no problem. Also theta equal to 180 minus 44.4 degrees. And that is, let's see now, this is a 6, this is a 5, this is a 3, and there we are. So there are two answers to number 23. Okay? Because notice that it says find all angles between 0 and 180. If you just get them all from the calculator, that's not all angles. Next one. So let's do 24. 24. Once again, I don't recognize the 1/4, so I have to use my calculator. Sine of theta equal to 1/4. That means theta equal to sine inverse of 1/4. Sine inverse of 1/4. Use your calculator. Second, sine inverse 1/4 or 0.25. So 14. If I round it to the first significant figure, one digit, is going to be 14.5 degrees. So if you go here, so this is equal to, the calculator spits out 14.5 degrees. But once again, if you look at your trick circle, what the calculator spits out is only the angle between minus 90 and 90, which is this, 14.5 degrees. However, there is also the angle on this side. In other words, the complement of that, okay, this angle, which is also has the same sign, which is SIN, which is 0.25. It has the height 0.25. So theta 1 is what the calculator spits out, no problem. But there's also theta 2, which is once again 180 degrees minus 14.5, which is, I think that is 165.5 degrees. Good. Next one. Sine of theta equal to 1/2. Here, I don't really need my calculator. Let me... Okay, so this is number 21. Sine of theta equal to 1/2. I recognize theta. Theta must be pi over 6. That means theta equal to sine inverse of 1/2. Pi over 6 was 30 degrees, right? Good. So what it means is that I got this angle, which was 30 degrees. But there's also the other angle on this side, that angle, which has the same sin. So theta 1 is 30 degrees, yes. Theta 2 is 150 degrees. It is rather unfortunate because these problems that I picked, they all have sine. It would have been helpful if I did one with a cosine. So let me actually do another one. Okay, so instead of me doing number 22, which incidentally, the answer for 22 is theta 1 equal to 60 degrees and theta 2 equal to 120 degrees. I'll make up my own. The next one I'm going to make up my own. So my own. How about that? My own. Suppose I say find all angles between all between 0 and 180 such that cosine of say theta equal to, let me make this thing root 2 over 2. So theta equal to cos inverse of root 2 over 2, and the calculator will spit out, or you should know actually what this thing is. It's going to spit out pi over 4, or 45 degrees, no problem. The question is, are there any other angles between 0 and 180 which gives you the same cosine? So here's the situation. So we got this angle either by memorizing it or having used our calculator. There is my 45 degrees. But in the interval between 0 and 180, this is 0 and 180, this is the only angle whose cosine is root 2 over 2. There's another angle, see, this is the 0 to 180. There's another angle down here, but this is not in the interval 0 to 180. Okay? Let's move on. Let's move on to the next page, next problem.